I don't think people do what they love. I think they learn or inspired to love what they do. People have always told me, you're so lucky, you've always loved what you did. And if you look back, do you think I really love selling legal research online? That was my dream when I was 5 years old. That's what I love to do. No, I learned to be inspired. I learned to take my possibility and make it a probability. So you got to know your what, you got to know your why, make those possibilities your probabilities, and then every single speech I take is the most important part that nobody talks about, especially when you get to this woo-woo stuff, this spiritual stuff. I'll tell you what's the most important thing is how. Right? How are you going to do it? Most people think that happiness is enough regardless of how much money they have, what relationships they have, what they've achieved. They think that happiness is enough even over their health. And so I started raising the stakes to be happy. And I believed that my happiness would be achieved by a consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit, pursuit of my potential. People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes from within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else? And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you. Say thank you before you go to bed, and say thank you when you wake up. And I guarantee you, if you can do that for 30 straight days, your life will change.
Hi, my beautiful Carla. You are muted. You look gorgeous, but there's nothing coming out.
Hey, you know what? This is live and I love it. Thank you, Cleona, David. Look at you. All right, hey, this is live. And you know what? I'm so grateful we study this material because this is take 2. All right. Welcome to day 6 of the Napoleon Hill Institute's free live event, Think Rich 2025. This is real life. Do you see how Cleona came on really gently? And I am not fazed, to be quite honest. This is how we roll here. All right. So positive mental attitude. This is day 6. You have seen us all speak. You have seen all of the amazing presentations since Monday. And we want to continue this rhythm with you. And we want to continue the excitement. So today we have an amazing guest. You just saw an amazing intro video of him, and I do not want to hold it any longer. So David Meltzer is the legendary sports executive and formerly served as the CEO and renowned Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment Agency, which was the inspiration for the movie Jerry Maguire. He is one of the world's top entrepreneurs, investors, and business coaches. David has been recognized by Variety magazine as their Sports Humanitarian of the Year and awarded the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. David is the executive producer of the Apple TV series 2-Minute Drill and Office Hours. He's also the executive producer of the entrepreneur's #1 business show, Elevator Pitch. David's featured in many books, movies, and TV shows such as The World's Greatest Motivators, Think and Grow Rich, and Beyond the Secret, featured on Netflix. He is on a mission to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. This simple yet powerful mission has led him on an incredible journey to provide one thing: value. In all of his content and in communication, this is what David is really all about. It's what you'll receive. And for the past 20 years, David's been providing free weekly value and trainings to empower people all around the world. So without further ado, we want to get to this training. I want to bring up David. Welcome, David. How did you like that?
I love it. And thank you for the reminder to unmute myself, because I love the fact that I speak about 10 times a day and there's still moments and minutes that I talk while I'm muted. So Carla, you are a blessing, and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you. All right. So I would love for you to just share with us your wisdom. I'll step back and I'll come up whenever you're done.
I love it. Thank you, everyone. Well, I thought I'd talk about something that I learned from Napoleon Hill. And it's the idea of how do we materialize and monetize the abundance in our lives. So many of us live like tubes, and excuse the graphics, but it's food in, food out. They live in the world of nothingness. I believe in Outwitting the Devil, they call them drifters, but in the world of nothingness, most people exist. And what I want to talk today about is how do we make the advancements, the mathematical advancement to a reality within the context of a divine direction, allowing all the details that are omnipresent in our lives, the setbacks, failures, mistakes, shortages, voids, and obstacles that are omnipresent. How do we make those divine detours and allow for the counterintuitive nature of human experience to exist within the context of divine time? And so the first step to take the nothingness, living like a tube, food in and food out, to its first advancement, how do we make the nothingness a possibility? And the way that we make nothingness a possibility is to understand what it is that we want today. What is it we want today personally today? What is it we want experientially today? What is it that we want giving or productivity wise today? And the most difficult, what is it we want to receive today? And in this infinite loop of abundance, of knowing what we want personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise, within the reality of the day, the circumstances of the day, you see, most people don't even think about what they want, but yet alone put it into the context of the circumstances of the day, the weather, the interest rates, the in-laws, the flat tires, whatever it is that exists today and those circumstances of today. And if we know what we want personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise, within the context of the circumstances of the day, we then can expand what limits us each and every day in the 24 hours that we're guaranteed every single day. The only common denominator of all human experience is the 24 hours of the day. The time that a particle of light leaves the sun and hits the earth, which dictates everybody's human experience, the 24 hours that you're guaranteed every single day of your life, except for the last day, you'll be cheated seconds, minutes, maybe even hours. But when you know what you want personally, experientially, giving and receiving in the context of the circumstances of the day, we can start to expand the limitations of the day, which are two things. Number one, the meaning of our past. You see, even for those people that know what they want each day in the circumstances of the day, they limit themselves by not aligning the meaning of the past, the light, the love, and the lessons, the forgiveness in the past, the accountability of the past, of saying, what did I do in the past to be responsible or attract this to myself, or even participate in a perception of some failure, setback, and mistake, and then align the meaning of the past, these failure, setbacks, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances with my divine direction. So the number one limitation in which we want to expand is the meaning of the past. You will never overachieve the meaning you give your past. You must align the meaning of the past with the divine direction, to make all detours divine and allow for divine time to reveal, to give you the revelations of the truth. The second limitations of knowing your what, which also allows to expand, is beyond knowing what we want personally, experientially, giving and receiving in the context of the circumstances of the day, aligning the meaning of the path, the failure, setbacks, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances of the past in my divine direction, is our own imagination. We limit ourselves with our imagination because we will never overachieve what we dream of. We will never overachieve our own self-image derived by the imagination. And so in the context of most people living in nothingness, they don't know their what. They certainly don't know what they want personally, experientially, giving and receiving in the context of the circumstances of the day. But even for those who do, they end up limiting themselves by focusing in on what they don't want, what's missing, what they don't have, or other people that what they don't want from their past. So align the meaning of the past, find the light, the love, and the lessons, forgive yourself into a divine direction, making all detours divine and allowing for divine time to fulfill your self-image, because you'll never overachieve your own self-image. And I promise you, there's a mathematical advantage and advancement in your life, because if you know your what in this context, you will go from nothingness to a possibility. A mathematical advantage each and every day in the 24 hours of your day. So know your what and make possibilities occur every single day, which inherent will derive more wisdom and more faith, more hope of that possibility. Now, the second step to take us from nothingness to possibility, possibility to probability, you must know your who. You see, my prayer every morning is very simple. May God put at least 10 people in front of me that I can help each day, but also may He put 10 people in front of me that I can help. You see, if you know your who, all your possibilities become probabilities, because the fastest way to get what you want is to find someone that has it and ask them for directions, or help someone else get what they want. When you know your who you can help and who can help you, all of the possibilities of what you want personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise become probabilities. A mathematical advancement, an advantage every single day from the nothingness of living like a tube, food in and food out. Know your probabilities by knowing your who you can help and who can help you. But there's still more to advance in the realm of Thinking and Grow Rich, in the realm of Napoleon Hill, and understanding that perspective of the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential, what you want, not what's missing, what you don't have. Don't have FOPO, the fear of other people's opinion. Live in JOPO, the joy of other people's opinion. Learn to appreciate everyone and what they want and help them get there, as well as ask them for help. Build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. A community, one like the Napoleon Hill community that we are building. And as we have all of these probabilities in our lives, how do we make that probability advance even further into our perspective? Know your how. Know your how. How am I going to get this done today according to the circumstances of today? How am I going to utilize my 24 hours today in order to effectuate the progress that I want? Progress differs for everyone. Good progress is different for everyone. Bad progress is different for everyone. It's determined by what we want and who we can help and who can help us. And so knowing that good progress is only created with one thing: good behavior. Good behavior aligned with where we want to be or better is going to create the perspective of the progress of where we want to be or better, that divine direction, allowing all detours to become divine and speeding up the divine time, our perspective. And knowing our how are we going to utilize our behaviors each day, requires us to put it within the context of 24 hours and the circumstances of today. In order to do so, to know our how, we must know our non-negotiables and assign time to the non-negotiables in our lives. Because time and money are energy, and energy has three characteristics. One, it aggregates, it attracts more of its like energy. Two, it accelerates, which is such a blessing because there's only one speed of progress. Only one speed of progress, not fast enough. And so if we can speed up the speed of progress, which is not fast enough, it appeases our human nature and gives us more confidence and more faith, more comfortable ease in what we're doing, and dissipates the dis-ease. By knowing how we're going to utilize the 24 hours in the circumstances of the day, deriving the meaning of the past, and aligning in our divine direction with a great self-image or imagination, we must know our non-negotiables of what I'm committed to do every single day. Because it's not the mistakes in the day that's going to make us fail. It's the lack of commitment. And having non-negotiables in our lives that we're committed to consistently every day, 7 days a week, persistently without quit, the lack of commitment in the pursuit of our divine direction, or better, of what we think. Knowing we'll never overachieve what we think, we'll never overachieve our imagination, we'll never overachieve our own self-image. So knowing our how, by creating non-negotiables and assigning man-made constructive time to create a better human experience with more good behaviors that create good progress into the divine direction of where we want to be or better. So I assign time to the non-negotiables. Number one non-negotiable in my life, my health. Because if I'm healthy, I get as many wishes as I want. It strengthens my faith every day to have more hope and more wishes. But if I'm unhealthy, I'll only have one wish. And so I assign a minimum of an hour a day on my health, a minimum of 30 minutes with my wife, a minimum of 30 minutes with my 14-year-old son, a minimum of 2 minutes with each of my daughters who are 25, 23, and 20. I asked for 5. They gave me a minimum of 2, but 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday, because time is an energy and so is money. And it aggregates, accelerates, and compounds exponentially in its outcomes. I then assign time to studying time. I assign time to faith. I assign time to finance and research. All the most important things to me. I am committed to the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential, and all of my non-negotiable, committed, consistent behaviors equal about 3.5 hours a day, leaving me 13.5 hours of open-eyed, awake time to do whatever I want. Because the other non-negotiable in my life is my sleep. I have a sleep coach. I believe the fastest way to get to where I want to be is to find someone that's already there and ask them for direction. So for the last almost 18 years, I've had a sleep coach to help facilitate two things of non-negotiable time for me, which is one, recovery. Everybody knows the better you recover, the better you perform. And then two, access to the information of my source, and information that is transcended through meditation in the morning to live my higher self, to create a plateau and grow strategy, not the myth of Sisyphus written in Camus' The Stranger, rolling a boulder to the top of the hill every day just to have it roll back down the next day. It is the non-negotiable 7 hours of sleep, 3.5 hours of non-negotiable prioritized committed time every single day, which leaves me 13.5 hours to do whatever I want. And it's this variant behavior of knowing my how that appeases the human nature that hates doing things every day. Why? Because the simple things to do are simple to do, except for when you got to do them every day, and then the simple things to do become simple not to do. That's why saying thank you is so difficult to do every single day. It's not because it's expensive, it's free. It's not because it doesn't have impact, it has exponential impact. It's not because it takes a long time, it takes 0.1 seconds. It's because the simple things to do are simple not to do and commit to every single day. And so when we understand how we're going to be productive, accessible, and gracious with our time, aligned with what we want and who we can help and who can help us, we now know our how. And instead of living in the world of nothingness, food in, food out, instead of living in a world of just possibilities of what we want personally, experientially, giving and receiving, instead of even living in the world of probabilities of knowing who we can help and who can help us, we can now have the perspective of divine direction of where we think we want to be or better. And all detours, pain is just now an indicator. We're now living in a world of being given by protecting, promoting, and loving us and perfecting us. It is knowing our how that allows us to move to a perspective of gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration. But we still can advance more. From the possibility of knowing our what, the probability of knowing our who, and the perspective of knowing our how, we now can create a reality. And that reality is created by knowing one thing. Knowing our now. This confusing term of being present, I call it, it's time for din-din. Do it now, do it next. I always know what to do now and to do next. I know how to prioritize what's important to me, who I can help and who can help me, and how to get it done according to the circumstances of the day, the meaning of the past, and my imagination, my self-image, my divine direction, creating prioritization, which is the antidote. It's the antidote to procrastination and feeling overwhelmed. The two greatest causes of interference in human experience. It is impossible to feel overwhelmed. It's impossible to procrastinate if you know what's important to you, what to do now and what to do next. It's time for din-din. Know your now. 100% of the things that you do now get done. So it's the most statistically successful thing that you can do. Prioritization, the only requirement is to know the what, the who, and the how. Once you know the what, the who, and the how, it's easy to prioritize the now because you know what's important to you according to the circumstances of today, the meaning of the past, and your self-image, your divine direction, where you want to be or better, where you think you want to be or better. It also contains the do it next, which is different than the do it now, because the do it next allows you to reprioritize according to God laughing at you, the circumstances of the day. Because I will tell you this about these different advancements in our own being, possibilities, probabilities, and perspective into reality, because once you do something now, it becomes your reality and you are present, is that You can now reprioritize the fact that God loves when you come up with a well-developed plan. He loves to laugh at you. And so understanding how I reprioritize according to the negotiables and non-negotiable time and reprioritize. That's why not only do I study what's planned, I study the blank spaces in my calendar so I can reprioritize the din-din. I can reprioritize those empty spaces in your calendar is like a parking place in front of Costco at noon on a Saturday. It's just waiting for you when stuff is all chaotic. It allows you to reprioritize. It's a parking place for God laughing at you. And so you study what's planned and unplanned. You study the activity you get paid for and the activity you don't get paid for. You study your sleep. And studying means you pay attention to plus give intention to what you're going to do, say, think, feel, and believe, which will equal the coincidences, the coinciding of the universe into reality. It will create the results, consequences that you want or better. Now that we have a reality, we have gone from nothingness, the possibility to probability to perspective, and now into an actual monetizable, materializable reality. There's only one thing left: to be inspired. And so many people, even if they know the what, the who, the how, and the now, they're still searching for their why. You don't have to search for what you already have. You don't have to search for the infinite loop, the unified, abundant, infinite system of thought that you belong to. You don't have to search for something that you already have. You need to apply it. So the last step of reality in the context of Napoleon Hill and his philosophies, theories, and spirituality is to apply your why, to live in spirit, to live inspired, to speed up the process of behavior and progress. Knowing that the normal speed of progress is not fast enough, why not aggregate, accelerate, and compound exponentially the outcomes? So how do we apply our why? Well, there's another omnipresent and omniscient force in the world besides the omniscient and all present being that's bigger than you and loves you more than your mom, protects you, promotes you, and perfects you. It's fear. Fear is omnipresent. But it's going to take a lifetime to figure out what you're afraid of. So I suggest, if you want to apply your why all day, if you want to spend more of the 24 hours in spirit, at ease, we must identify how we react and create dis-ease. So instead of worrying about what you're afraid of, just simply identify your reaction to fear, because it's instant and obvious. When you're mad, it's instant and obvious. When you're separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, or even worried, which is a duplicative negative of interfering with your higher self and worrying and wishing for what you don't want, what I suggest you do is learn to identify the instant and obvious, your reaction to fear, because it's easy to determine the instant and obvious fire that is created mentally, physically, and spiritually when you react to fear in this manner, with a need to be offended, a need to be right, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, guilty, and resentful, etc. And so next time your mind, body, and soul's on fire, you're reacting to fear. Don't resist it. Don't go over it, under it, through it, around it. Don't lie to it, cheat it, manipulate it, or deny it. Do something much more difficult, because it's not logic that will overcome emotion. It never does. It is action. And in fact, the greatest action that you can take when you're on fire is to stop. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. Get to center, get back to ease, so you can remind, you can remember, you can recollect with something bigger than you, that loves you, protects you, promotes you, and perfects you more than your mom. An omniscient and all-powerful and all-knowing source that will protect, promote, and protect you at all times. You see, when your mind and body and soul are on fire, you got to stop, breathe, remind, remember, recollect, and drop. Now you can roll back into what you want, who you can help and who can help you, how best to utilize man-made constructive time with negotiables and non-negotiables, planned, unplanned, paid for, unpaid for, and sleep. To have a perspective of gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication, to prioritize and reprioritize, come to din din, do it now and do it next, stay present in a behavior, a progress towards where you want to be or better, a divine direction, translating those detours into divine detours in divine time. You can then, in that reality, live in spirit, inspired by identifying not what you're afraid of, but the reaction to fear, the instant and obvious reaction to fear. Because when your mind and body and soul are on fire, I've learned from my mom, not only gratitude, but when I'm on fire, you need to stop, you need to drop, and you need to roll back into the what, the who, the how, the now, and apply your why. I promise you, if you want to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. In other words, if you want to be happy, if you want to live in the world of more than enough of everything for everyone, then you've got to stop living in the world of the tube, the world of nothingness, food in, food out, the myth of Sisyphus, rolling a boulder to the top of the hill just to have it roll back down. You need to plateau and grow by knowing your what, knowing your who, knowing your how, knowing your now, and applying your why every single day. Spend minutes and moments outside of your divine direction. Spend minutes and moments on the detours and make those divine. And spend minutes and moments outside of divine time, and you will make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. God bless all of you. God bless the Napoleon Hill Institute. Cleona O'Hara, thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this institute and this unbelievable day. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, David. You took my breath away. I just want to say congratulations and thank you to you for joining the Napoleon Hill Institute now as our chairman. And I am beyond grateful. I thank God every day. And what you just shared today really reminds me and shows me you've become a master of this entrusted, borrowed energy from the divine. And so I look forward to learning from you more, and I look forward to working with you more.
I have already learned from you, and I look forward to learning even more. But most importantly, this is our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is a frequency. This is a community of people that want to help each other and know people that will help each other. And to be a part of such a historical relevance in this community is the most exciting thing, as you know, for me, my family. The legacy of this community needs to be amplified through the whole world. And these principles will save the world. And it is people and entrepreneurs like Napoleon Hill that have that wisdom and faith that's required in order to change the world for the better. Once again, my heart is full of gratitude and love for you and for our community. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, David, from my heart. Thank you so much. Wow. So grateful. Thank you. Woo. I just lost my breath. I'm taking notes. I'm scribbling notes. Step by step, he gave us instructions. And he showed us how to value and make use of this divine energy that we've been talking about. You have your thought energy. He talks about money energy. He talks about time energy. He's a master. David Meltzer is a master at making best use of this divine energy that we were talking about yesterday. Is given so freely to us. We didn't pay for it. It's a creation energy. Your life is a creation. The results in your life is a creation. He gave us step-by-step instructions on how to make best use, how to value all of this energy in our life, how to prioritize. And I can't wait. Wow. Everybody's saying, wow. I know. How blessed are we? We are so blessed. Carla, come you on up here. How do you feel? how blessed are we that he's now the chairman?
I'm
Wow.
so grateful. This is so cool. I've followed David for years, and I just love all of the work that he does. And I was taking notes as well. Din din, it's always time for din din. Do it now, do it next. I mean, there's so many notes that I have, but this is what we attract here at the Napoleon Hill Institute. This is what we attract, just amazing people of this caliber. And what David said at the end, this material will save the world.
The world. And that's our mission. You know, when Napoleon Hill Institute 2.0 came out, obviously it was originally created in the 50s with Napoleon and W. Clement Stone. But when we brought it back in 2023 officially, I would write out my goal. I would write it out every day for the Institute. And I said, how big can we go? And I wrote down 8 billion people. I want to help the whole world. And of course, people are saying, okay, we got to start somewhere. But look how this works, folks. We teach you to write out your definite major purpose, write out your goals, write it in present tense with faith. So why do you think the divine aligned us with someone like Dr. Joe Vitale and now, of course, David Meltzer? Why do you think they're aligning? We're on that frequency. It's because the divine mission is to help the whole world. And what was David's goal? To help 1 billion people. So this stuff works, folks. This is not magic. This works if you work it the way that we're teaching you and you have faith. So one of my biggest takeaways, there were so many takeaways, I don't even know where to begin. But he talked about the calendar. He talked about, having reverence. That's how I understand it. Having reverence for a time. I don't have reverence enough for my time. That's my biggest takeaway. So I'm going to really have a good talk to myself, have a good think today. It's the weekend. My kids aren't here right now, so I have some free time. And I'm going to think about my time. Where am I pouring my energy? Where am I spending, wasting, or investing my precious time, energy? And then look at those parking spaces in my calendar. I love how you said, like you gave an example of Costco, it's waiting for you at the front. I thought that was wonderful. So that's my biggest takeaway. I'm going to take these 5 steps to know what I know what I want. I know who, the how. I have to do better at the how. I have to do better at the how. And so my suggestion to all of you is to really, really think about this. What do you need to work on? And Carla, what was your biggest takeaway and what would you suggest as well?
Right. So what you just said, the time, having reverence and respect for your time, and it goes along with boundaries. We're afraid to set boundaries with people like, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. Or even in our mind, like that is not a worthy investment of my time. I don't want to spend my time on that. And just know that we all have 24 hours in a day, and how you fill those spots up. Always know what you're doing next. Always know what you're doing now. Always know what you're doing next. I believe I mentioned this either yesterday's call or the one before of when you're drifting, you don't know what you're doing. What are you doing this weekend? Oh, I don't know yet. I'm still going to figure it out. What do you mean? I know what I'm doing this weekend. I know what I'm doing every weekend until the end of the year. I learned that lesson, Cleona. And yes, that's a great thing to sit down, especially you, a busy mom running a company with kids, with your own life and your own goals. It is so essential and so important. It can feel at first like, oh, that's a lot of work. I don't have time. But remember, auto-suggestion is everything. What is your relationship with time? I read a book a while ago, and there was a phrase called Einstein time. When time expands just for you. And when I'm rolling around, and even this morning as I was getting ready, I said, I'm on Einstein time. I am on divine time. Time expands for me because I saw the minutes flipping and I had to get on. I was like, how did it get to be 8:13 when it was just 7:57? No. And I caught myself. I caught the anxiety. I caught all of that. I said, time expands just for me. I get everything done in the perfect timing. So that's what stood out for me. What is your relationship with time? How do you manage it? How do you invest it or spend it? And are you good at boundaries, putting up those boundaries? And the second, which I think might be even more important, is what David said, non-negotiables. Like, what's non-negotiable? I know for you, Cleona, we've spent a lot of time together, not just in business, but in our personal lives. And for you, your children are first. Like, you will cancel calls if you need to, if those come up, because that is priority. It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. So what are your non-negotiables? It's not just a suggestion. Of course, children and family are non-negotiable, but is your mindset? Is your study time? Is your spiritual development? This is not just a suggestion. Mental health, I say that's a non-negotiable. As a therapist, when I talk to my clients and they're dysregulated each week, it either gets worse or stays the same. I say, did you do the tapping we talked about? Oh, I forgot. You forgot? It's not a suggestion. It's a non-negotiable.
I'm so glad you said that, because one of the things that I wrote here in big writing and highlighted and is when he said lack of commitment. The problem people have is they have a lack of commitment. And I have one of my pet peeves, as you know, I have these pet peeves. And it's not like, that I look down upon people or judge people because they're not doing it. It's because, just like David, I see everyone the way the divine would see them. And so it hurts me, I think, because it probably most likely hurts the divine to know God knows what you're capable of. So when people make promises and they say they're going to do something, or they set a goal and they join something with full commitment, and then they drop their commitment. This is the problem. That's one of the biggest pet peeves I have, is when I see someone make a commitment and then they drop their commitment. This is a problem that most people have. When I commit to something, I'm in it for life. I do it all the way. I always say it. I'll go to the day I die doing what we're doing right here. I'm committed. If I have to crawl through the mud, over rocks, lift stones, move mountains, this is the attitude that I have.
Yeah.
So, and I would love for everyone that's watching this to be that kind of committed. Be that committed, just like he said.
Yeah. And that's why we use those words, committed decision.
Yes.
It's one thing to learn how to be decisive and to cut off and kill, as Cleona talked about, to deseer, cut off, sever. It's not an option. Burning the boats, as Napoleon Hill talks about. You make a decision. Don't renege on that decision. Don't go back on that decision. Don't take it back. It's every single day, just like my journey in sobriety. I made a decision to stop drinking, but I didn't make that decision once on May 6th, 2019. I made it on May 6th, 2019 at 11:54 a.m. And I'm going to get teary, but I made it again, May 7th. I made it again. So
Wow.
This is a matter of life and death. When something is important to you and you find yourself complaining over and over, you're in pain, you know you can do better. Make a committed decision and make it over and over and over. If you have to make it every hour to yourself through the principles of autosuggestion, do it. Your life depends on it.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Carla. Wow. This is what it takes. You see, most people are complaining they don't have what they want in their life, in their personal life, their health, their finances, and every area of their life. But this is what it takes.
Yeah.
It takes discipline. It takes courage, commitment. When I'm committed, I'm all in. There's no accidents that things are working out for me in many areas of my life. It's because I'm committed. I want to find out, just like he said, the how, right? So know what you want, know your who do you want to serve, and then the how, and then the now and the why. I know these, but am I really implementing this? Am I implementing this? Am I committed? Am I committed to implementing this? That's the question. And then I love when he said, when you're on fire, stop, go back to spirit. You see, David Meltzer was also trained by Bob Proctor. He was also, and there's no coincidence. We were all trained by Bob Proctor. We were mentored by him. And here we are all working together now. I wonder if Bob has something to do with this, right? Of course he does. Yes, of course he does. So,
you know what came to my mind? Go ahead.
Now go ahead, Carla.
I was just saying, we know the root word of decision, but committed. right? I have to look that word up, committed. But you know, when we hear like in a negative term, they were committed to a psychiatric ward. They were committed. They were put away against their own will. They were committed. So the drifter in you needs to be committed, put in a straitjacket, can no longer drift. Let's commit that thing to the island of success, to decision. And that is what is so important, to stop, drop, and roll. When we find ourselves, like David said, and if you saw him, the way he was talking, he was closing his eyes, he was channeling, he was repeating, he was tapping into those auto-suggestive networks and neural pathways that he has trained himself for years and years. So he was saying, din, din, do it now, do it next, do it now, do it next, stop, drop, and roll. Whenever you find, that is how he talks to himself. And he would tell you that. And that is what he was coming so clearly out. He's programming. He's using all of these principles. That's why he's been a student. That's why he was attracted to Bob Proctor, who was the eternal student of Napoleon Hill's Principles to Success and Think and Grow Rich. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah. This is what we're doing. We're carrying the torch for these, I say, founding fathers of personal development. And I don't even call it personal development anymore. It's personal growth and it's spiritual growth, because we talk a lot about spirit, because we do believe it goes hand in hand. We're spiritual beings in a physical body. So, and he even said it, one of the most successful people in the sports industry, David Meltzer, and he talks about being in spirit. He talks about being in spirit. I wonder why, right? Because it's the essence of who we really are. It's the essence of who we really are. And all of my ideas, my hunches, my inspirations that brought Napoleon Hill Institute back, was because I was tapping into the spiritual side of me. It wasn't by just grinding it out and hustling and using my logic all the time. No, it was probably 95% of me using my spiritual time and being connected to my God of my understanding, and then listening for instructions. Do this next. Like even today, I went by the water and I write out my goal every day. And I looked at the beautiful skyline of New York. I wrote out my goal and I just closed my eyes. And I said, okay, God, tell me what to do about this, 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 and this. I stop, I listen. And I know the voice now, the spiritual side of me, that I know that connection. And so then I listen, make sure it's the right voice, because I know that the other voice is coming from fear, scarcity, doubt, or worry. So then I know if it's a strong, peaceful, affirming, positive voice, I know that's my divine guidance. This is how I've done everything. This is how I will do everything. And I know that's how David does it too. And that's, we help people reprogram their subconscious mind. We help people understand and apply discipline. We help people understand the principles of success, the philosophy of success that's already laid out for us by Napoleon Hill and the greats. We help people live by universal law. We help people be accountable and have support and community and love and masterminding and experiences. We have events in person. We have these special dinners. We meet up. We have something so special here that I'm even a fan to be part of it. I'm a fan of what we have here. I'm the biggest fan.
I know. I was just going to say, that is what we're doing. You literally read my mind, because when it comes to commitment, making a decision to your personal and spiritual growth, like Cleona said, we not only have to make a committed decision, but we have to recommit, like David said, commit and recommit every day. But who is holding us accountable? What community do we have? Studies continue to show that the biggest reason why we feel lonely, depressed, and even when it comes to self-harm or people who are experiencing suicidality and ideation, is disconnection from a community and lack of purpose. Yeah. So if in any way if you feel like you're off track, if you feel like you don't have a tribe, a community that understands this, people think you're crazy, you're reading all those books, you're doing all this, oh, come on, get into the real world. What is the real world? It's only a reflection of everybody's thoughts. And they are poison. They are a virus. Look at the world. So this is a safe space. I love it too. I am the biggest fan. Every day I wake up and I walk into the Napoleon Hill Institute. We have live calls every day. This is a true live community. It's not some digital course PDF that you download. And as Cleona mentioned yesterday, and I want you to talk about the offer that you mentioned yesterday. It's usually an 8-month program, but you offered 9 months for this. And so maybe even if we have those slides, I know that Jeff has them here. Do you want to walk them through it, Cleona? Or
Yes. So we spoke about yesterday, we spoke about it's called Think and Grow Rich Mentorship Program. It's now, I'm offering it to you for 9 months. You get to join the community. You are a member then of the Napoleon Hill Institute, which means you're an official student of the Institute with us, myself and Carla. You met Gary Glass. You met, obviously, David Meltzer. He's now going to be focusing on first building a whole corporate division as well. And he'll be doing trainings. And you have Dr. Joe Vitale. We have other speakers as well coming in every week, live classes. And then on a daily basis, we have what's called the self-discipline camp. You will have access to that for 9 months or maybe even more. So you can start your day with us at 5:30 in the morning in every time zone. So the Think and Grow Rich mentorship is designed first to create what's called a paradigm shift. The first 6 weeks, we've designed it purposely to change your programming, because I believe unless and until you have a paradigm shift and a little bit more confidence, then you're not going to change. You're not going to change. So I'm going to go over all of the principles then that you will receive. But first, the paradigm shift has to happen. We have to disrupt the programming. I've been studying this for 17 plus years. And I knew about the principles, but I didn't apply them. Why did I not apply them? Because I wasn't ready. I wasn't disciplined. I didn't have the confidence. I wasn't focused. I wasn't committed. So for 6 weeks, we're going to help you disrupt the program, the paradigm, and you're going to work on your discipline. After the 6 weeks is over, then you're going to move into the 3 phases that we've designed for the Think and Grow Rich mentorship. Phase number 1 is conceive. This is where you're going to be studying the principles in depth with us. You're going to have videos to watch on your own, yes, but you're also going to have those live classes every day by our principal teachers and speakers. Number 1, desire. 2, imagination. 3, you're going to study the brain in depth. 4, my favorite, decision. Everything goes back to decision. I'm a great decision maker, and I want you to be too. Your whole life will change. And then phase 2 is called believe. Believe. This is where you're going to move into studying faith. My faith is so strong, folks. I don't care what happens in my life. You can put me out on the street. I'll find my way out of it because my faith is so strong. I want that for you. I want you to have rock solid, unshakable faith. And I know we can help you there. And then auto suggestion. This is what Carla was teaching you, that inner conversation, what you're allowing in, what are you purposely thinking about. 7, the 6th sense, very intuitive. We're going to teach you how to tap into your 6th sense, to use energy to feel what it is that's really going on, what's warning you, what's guiding you. And so you're going to become very intuitive to lean towards the next step intuitively. Number 8 is the subconscious mind. We're going to study in depth. And then phase 3 is the achieve. That's why I think 9 months is perfect. It takes 9 months to carry and grow a child, a baby. I grew 3 of them. It took me 9 months. So this is why you're in phase 3. We could even call it your 3rd trimester. You're giving birth to your new self. You're giving birth to your higher self. So phase 3 is achieve. And this is where you're going to learn the mystery of sex transmutation. You're going to learn about the frequency and the vibration of the emotions of love, faith, and sex, how to transmute those emotions and to pour it into your burning desire towards your goal. And then that's how you learn how to manifest things, attract things so powerfully into your life. I do it all the time. It's so powerful. 10, organized planning. 11, specialized knowledge, 12, the mastermind, and then 13, persistence. That you will learn never, ever to give up. These are the keys to success, my friend. You're going to be also studying positive mental attitude, going the extra mile, and then an introduction to outwitting the devil. So these are the 3 phases of your time in the Think and Grow Rich mentorship program with us. And we are giving you an extra month for that reason. Whoever makes a decision this week, you will join us. You'll be part of that cohort. I will help you. I also do hot seat coaching as well. So every 2 weeks, you will get coaching from me, and you can join the hot seat coaching and from some of our principal teachers as well. So join us if you're serious and you're committed to a new transformation and to meet your other self, your higher self. Join us. I look forward to working with you. Carla, if I left anything out, please go ahead and tell them what else they need to do.
No, that was beautiful. I would say, and anybody that I talk to, this is a full immersion program. Full immersion program. For 9 months, you will be fully immersed. Daily calls, daily community, daily accountability. This is a full immersion program. There is no person left behind. We even say it's a money back guarantee. To be honest, we stand behind it. This has worked and the results do not lie. As you see some people in the chat, they've just been really enjoying the 30 days, the free self-discipline camp that we've had. Their lives are already changing. This material works when you work it. So this is brilliant. Again, if you are ready to make a committed decision, don't betray yourself any longer. Don't be like me and waste 20 years, 2 decades waiting to step into your greatness. The world needs your gifts. The world needs your talents, and it needs it right now.
If you do exactly what we tell you, we show you what to do. We'll assign you a coach, so you're not on your own. It's not one of those, here's a program, you're on your own. No, we don't do that at Napoleon Hill Institute. You're going to probably make friends for life. Not probably, you will. If you show up and you're committed, I will help you with your discipline. I will help you with it. And I will help you understand how to apply the principles of success. Our whole team are there to support you.
So don't be afraid. If you have any questions, just book a call. You can scan that code here, or you can visit the website at the NapoleonHillInstitute.com. Go under programs. There are affordable plans for everybody's budget. Don't ever let the fear hold you back. If this is something you want, if you're really ready, book a call. I'm taking calls. You will see. We'll get to talk.
I'm calls too.
Leona's taking calls.
I have some women on a couple of women on my calendar on Monday. I can't wait to meet you ladies.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is, if you get on this call with one of our success advisors, I know I've been studying for years. I've heavily invested in myself, and it was worth every penny and more and multiplied. Thank God I invested in myself. I was scared in the beginning. And I remember my husband he was so scared, and he was like, what are you doing? I said, you either support me or you don't. Okay. I knew this was the right option for me. I knew it like I knew it, like I knew it. And so once you get on that call with a success advisor, it may be me, it could be Carla, it could be one of our team. They will tell you what's the right fit for you. If this is not the right fit, we have something for you. We have something for all of you. Don't go away from this event and say, that was nice, and now I'm on my own again and I'm back to my old programming. No, I don't want that. I want to help as many people as possible. So book your call, even if it's 10, 15 minutes, get on there. Let us help you. We will guide you if it's the right fit. And if it's not, we'll find something that's the right fit for you, just to get moving so that you can start 2025 in the right way, in the right direction, and we will help you. So join the Napoleon Hill Institute community. I'm a big fan, and you will be a big fan too. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we hope you enjoyed this day 6. We have day 7 tomorrow, Sunday, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And we look forward to seeing you. I have a couple calls today right after this, and I look forward to seeing you. Who's on my calendar? Veronica. I'll be talking to you, Veronica. So I'm excited to see you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Watch the replay, visit the website, look over all the details, ask all the questions. Don't be afraid. talk to one of us, and we will see you soon.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. The Napoleon Hill Institute introduces Think and Grow Rich, the mentorship program. Still waiting for the perfect moment to change your life? Here's the secret. That moment is now. Imagine the future you've dreamed of. Not next year, not someday, now. Inspired by Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, we're launching a 3-part journey to transform your mind and unleash your potential. Conceive the vision of what you really want. Believe that it's possible, because here we eliminate doubt. And then achieve, because it's time you actually live that dream. These principles simply work. This isn't just a program, it's your future, with a whole community backing you up. You are not alone. Certified coaches, video modules, live calls, success tools, accountability. Everything you need to stay on track and never look back. Ask yourself, can you afford to wait? Don't drift through life. Step up, take charge, and join the movement. The Napoleon Hill Institute. It's a frequency.